Now, I also truly believe part of what creates success for any of us, high performance for any of us, is surround yourself with incredible people. One of the deciding reasons why I committed to this team as their female member was because our captain said this: if two people on the team think exactly alike, one of them isn't necessary. I would not kid you that we got along. But what I can tell you is, I think one of the single best things we did as a rookie team that contributed to our ability was we agreed in advance that this race was going to tear us down. It was going to break us apart. We needed a plan for how we were going to handle when things went wrong, when they went to hell in a handbasket. What were we going to do? Not if, because it's not a question of if. It's a question of when. And so what we did is we had a plan, a two-part plan of when things started to go wrong. The first, we would all come together. One of us would begin by saying, how do we improve this situation right now? I love it because it says, what are we going to do? Right? What are we going to do to improve this situation? The other reason I love it is because once you ask this question, there's only one way to answer it. The only way to answer the question is to come up with a solution, not argue about the problem. So when you ask the question, how do we improve this situation? What happens is people start throwing out possible solutions. And I encourage you to try this with a group of people, because what happens is they start leaning in. They start leaning into the conversation, because you begin to feel like we might actually come up with how to solve this. So what we did is once we started kind of gathering possible solutions, we did the obvious. You take the best of what you think is going to work, you massage it, and the second part of our problem-solving strategy, first, how do we improve this situation right now? Second, once we made a decision, it was all hands on deck. Mark Burnett loves to get the cameras in amongst these teams that are imploding. Like they're just imploding. And what happens is they argue, they take each other out at the knees, they criticize each other. Our team made a verbal commitment to each other that we fully understood criticism is just a bad way of making a suggestion. We needed to salvage each other. So, you know, what they did, they'd get in there, they'd argue, fight, then the captain would step in and he'd say, okay, stop. I'll make the decision. So he'd make the decision, march off, leading the team. And they'd fall in behind him. One of them would look back at the camera and go, oh, yeah, like this is gonna work. And you know, it was almost, you could bet the bank on it. Usually within 24 hours, that team was out of the race. Because it's been proven in every business school around the world that a B-level idea with an A-level execution has far more success than an A-level idea with a B-level execution. And we see it in athletics and sports all the time. You know, a team rarely wins because of one person's effort, but a team can easily lose because of one person's lack of effort.